Hey, y'all. So, all y'all truckers out there that's working on the holiday, it's Thanksgiving weekend, whatever you want to call it. Y'all out there, you feel like you're missing your family, all this stuff. Don't feel bad. I'm going to tell you why. Because if for some reason you allow someone to stop you from chasing your dreams, from chasing your goals, from going out and going for the gusto when you know you got it in you. And you got this idea, this plan, this vision in your mind that you're shooting for. And you allow a spouse, you allow a family member, you allow allegiance to your friends, your gang, clique, or whatever you're a part of to stop you from doing your thing. You'll never forgive yourself. You wake up 20 years from now, looking back and you wondering what would have happened if. That ain't the position you want to be in. How y'all doing? You do not want to wake up 60 years old hating the world because for whatever reason, you didn't get out there and give it your all. If you notice, most super successful people are antisocial. They're introverts. They have the ability to put blinders on where they don't see anything else except for that goal. When I get on the road, I'm from Baltimore for y'all that don't know. There's people from all over the country that tuning in. Once I get outside of that 95, 695 corridor, once I get outside of that beltway, don't nothing else in the world matter to me except delivering that load as quickly and as safely as possible so I can get the end result, which is get paid, which is going to allow me to get one step or 10 steps closer to my end goal, whatever that may be at the time. If you allow people to stop you, you got a job opportunity to move somewhere, or you got an opportunity to go somewhere and try something new, but you so tied in with the gang, with the clique, with the boys. I remember when I was younger, I was getting in so much trouble as a juvenile, I got sent up to New York for a year. And I wanted to be home so bad because I felt like I was missing something. All my homeboys, my brother and all of them was out here. My cousin was in the joint. He would call, but I couldn't go see him. I was still talking to people from back home. And then on top of that, every single time I came home, I got arrested. I got arrested at my brother's funeral afterwards. Fucking around, homeboy came pick me up, supposed to be smoking something. Don't know he had a stolen car. I'm juvenile years, mind you. Every single time I turned around, I would be getting in some trouble, and it'll always be coming from home. You got an opportunity to get out there and see some new things, experience life on a different level, broaden your horizon, because every time you experience something new, your mind expands, and your mind is like a virgin. Once that cherry been popped, it never come back to its original size. How you doing? It never goes back to its original size. That's why it's good to go different places. It's good to try different things. You got to, because if all you know is your same block, the same four corners, the same 5 homeboys, that's all you're going to get. You're going to be stuck there running in the hamster wheel for the rest of your life. You got to be able to cut things off. And I won't say it's easy, because sometimes are harder to break than others. You know, some relationships are so deeply rooted, it pains you to separate yourself. But you gotta do it. And if you don't do it, you're gonna be doomed to a life of hell and mediocrity. And you're gonna wake up looking yourself in the mirror every morning, wondering what if. Y'all young guys, y'all 18, 19, 20. When I was deep in the middle of the nonsense, man, I wish somebody would have told me this stuff I'm telling y'all so bad. I was dealing with tens of thousands of dollars and didn't have no clue what to do with it. All I accomplished during those years was get funky fresh, stay stupid, super dumb high, get drunk, and go down Baltimore Street and do my thing every night of the year. That was my major accomplishment. I would brag about that. People go down there on holidays. People go down there on their birthday. People go on the weekends. I would go down there every single night of the year. And, at some point you gotta look back and look at the things you've been allowed to make it through. Because everybody that went through the same things didn't make it through. So many of my friends strung out on drugs. You know how many of my homeboys, a couple of them died from AIDS. Everybody was running around raw sticking. A couple of them lost their mind, literally. And we talking about bad dudes getting money, lost their mind. How many lost their life? How many lost their freedom calling uptown, wishing that they could trade places or that they could go back in time and do things over? One thing I like to say is make the most of your life and your time, because you only got one shot. I'm gonna drop this one. You cannot go back tomorrow and redo today. It's impossible. So you got a chance to try something, try it. You got a chance to go somewhere, go. You got a female or whatever you went to, you're interested in, shoot your shot. What's the worst gonna happen? Either it's gonna go your way and you're gonna enjoy it, or it's not, and you're gonna learn from it. But you gotta try, and you gotta get out and see different shit. The best thing I did was move to New York. Second best thing I did was start trucking and get outside of Baltimore and get to see all different. I've been to every single state in this country. I only marked the ones that I either stopped and did tours, went to concerts, stopped at nightclubs, did all type of adventurous stuff in. But I've actually been to every single one, and I make friends everywhere I go. And what's up, man? It's still good.
On you?
Yeah, I make friends every single place that I go, and I learn from them. Everybody has a different way of living, but in totality, human beings are pretty much generally the same. But people eat different food, people got different slang, people have different customs, and you learn from that, and you take all of that and put it into the pot, and it helps you become the person that you're ultimately destined to become. But it's not going to happen if you don't step outside of your original atmosphere and try something different. Nah, that ain't close. It's not going to happen if you don't step outside of your original atmosphere and try something different. You have to step outside of the box. If you don't, as far as you've gone right now, that's as far as you're going to go. And I hope you're satisfied with it, because the laws don't change. There's studies that show that your surroundings have more of an impact on who you become than your genes do. You become your surroundings, and you become your peer group. Whoever you hang with, whoever you surround yourself with. I remember, I ain't gonna call no names, but I remember back in the day, I was running with my man Ghost. That's what we would call him, and he was popping. This was when that whole phase was going. I would have never even thought about it if I would have never been hanging with him. Not blaming him, but I'm saying that's comes from association. Spirits are interchangeable. I remember when my cousin Chip was home, they was into the robbery, stores and all that stuff. I would have never got into that if I wouldn't have hung with him. Now, dig this. That's on the negative side. It works on the positive as well. Peer pressure works both ways. I would have never got into sports if my cousin Chip wasn't playing, because I'm not into sports. I could care less about the football. I would have never got into the music scene if I would have never bumped into Pimpin' Ken down in Dallas. Choose your surroundings as far as your environment purposely, because you'll become your surroundings, and choose your friends and associates purposely, because they'll have an influence on you. Spirits are interchangeable. You cannot go around somebody and not be affected by them unless you have a more dominant aura and willpower about you, and even still small little things will rub off. So it's only one or two things gonna happen. Either you're gonna influence them or they're gonna influence you. There's no two ways about it. And the thing is, if you drowning in the ocean and don't know how to swim, and it's two of y'all and y'all holding on to each other, all y'all gonna do is drag each other down to the bottom of the ocean. Neither one of y'all can swim. You need to, if at best you need to hold on to somebody who know how to swim. Then that way they can help you up, or try your chances alone. You got a better chance of learning how to swim by yourself than trying to swim when you don't know how to swim. When it's two of y'all just pulling each other down, getting exhausted in the middle of the ocean. So, you know, we do a lot of things because, we do a lot of things out of loyalty, and we don't want to betray people, and you shouldn't. But don't betray yourself neither. Don't trade the life you could have and deserve to have for the one you inevitably will have if you don't go about doing what you're supposed to do, because you got to do it. That might not make sense, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're guilty by association. Rumble winners. There's individuals that's not good at sports. I remember when I was younger, Northwood was a team. And just because you wasn't nice, being around those champions made you a better player. See what I'm saying? Hanging around positive people makes you more positive. Hanging around people who are go-getters turns you into a go-getter, because you're positively influenced by them. It's called positive peer pressure. So I ain't gonna talk y'all head off, but I did want to put a message to y'all drivers that's out there on the road right now, and you thinking you missing something at home, and you feeling guilty. You're out there trying to make a living, but you wishing you could be at two places at one time, and it's physically impossible. Don't feel down on yourself, because the country runs off of truck drivers, for one, and for two, you ain't missing nothing. You will not be happier being somewhere you don't want to be because you chose to be. It's not going to work. If you force yourself to not chase your dreams and sidetrack what you want and desire, all it's going to do is lead you to a life of misery. And that's how you see people when you go into places and they have these jobs and they're so angry. I mean, they're so angry when you talk to them. Attitude is so rude. They can't stand the situation. That's why you see older people who resent their children and cause hell and warp their thinking by putting negative, self-conscious ideologies in them. You ain't never gonna do shit. You just like your father. You ugly. You know, you stupid. Why did you do that? You know, if it wasn't for you. You know, children didn't ask to be here. You chose to have children, and now it's your responsibility to deal with it. So, that's that. But I'm gonna lay back for a second. I did want to tap in with y'all truck drivers. I'm home right now. because I got this audit. But what? I tell you the truth, if I ain't had this audit Monday, I would not be here. I tell you that right now. I would be at work making some money and getting 2 steps closer to my dream. But I'm gonna enjoy this rest, and y'all stay tuned. Till next time. Peace.